Hey, bats, kiddos, Joker here, and you're listening to the Pop Culture Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very epic episode of the BCP. Bob Man here, and I'm excited to talk with my guest at this time. This is a guy, who has like the hustle early. I appreciate, his hustle. Like I said, I appreciate his ambition. Of course, you know him from YouTube as the BootyOs boy wrestling band with a lot of great indie talent on his show. He is the man, the myth, the legend himself, 16-year-old Mr. Donovan Dwyer. Donovan, what's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on today.
No, it's an honor, man. It's crazy because, I see you having some of these great guests on. Us over here on the BCP, we're huge advocates of the independent scene. And we see what you're doing, man. And it only made sense that we connected. Because I wish, honestly, like that I started doing this when I was younger, man. I'm an old man now. And I just really love the opportunity that there's been in this wrestling world. I've been very fortunate to be part of a lot of stuff and connect and make friends with a lot of these wrestlers. And I see you at 16 years old, man, doing the interviews, doing the Skype thing. I mean, how did this all start for you, man? Was this like a 2020 lockdown thing or what happened?
It actually, if you go back at the beginning of my YouTube channel, it started out as just wrestling figures. I mean, I have like 3 different boxes next to me. I would show them, but it's so much work. I have 3 boxes full of wrestling figures, and I was just so like, I had such a good time collecting them and just playing with them. I tried doing stop motion. It didn't work out.
Oh, cool.
And it actually turned into, I had an audio issue for a couple of reviews that I did. Like one of them was my birthday in 2019, and my audio just sucked. So I spent my birthday money on a new lapel mic, and I was in contact with a few indie wrestlers through like DMs on Instagram after shows, like, hey, great match. I appreciate your time talking to me after. And one stuck out the most. His name is Nico Silva. He's known as the Lion in the New England wrestling circuit. And I reached out and I said, hey, would you be interested in doing an interview? It's my first time. I think it's cool and it looks fun to do. So from then on, once I finished my first interview, I'm like, this was fun. I want to do more. And that's when I kind of stopped doing the wrestling figure stuff, and my channel just turned into interviews. I had a few food reviews here and there, and then but interviews is where it's at right now, and I love doing them. I love getting on so many different people, so many different talents. They all have great stories, and just to hear what they had to go through to get into professional wrestling, it's just awesome.
That's crazy, man. Already I got so many questions for you. So you talk about the figures, right? Who's like your favorite? Like, who was your guy? Who do you have the most figures of?
Well, it's a pretty simple answer. John Cena. He was the first wrestler that I got. He's from Massachusetts, so we're kind of like we're like pretty much brothers. We know each other. We email each other every day. No, I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts, and he went to Springfield College, which is really down the street from me. And he just seemed like such a cool guy. And once I started finding WWE action figures, I'm like, I want to collect these. And they're just fun to do. I like playing with them. And then I got to a certain age where it's like, does anyone really want to hang out with me anymore and just play toys? So, yeah. John Cena,
wrestling figures are awesome, man. I love, dude, here we go, right? Ray's my guy, Jeff's my guy. But, dude, you know what? We collect them. We got, the big red machine right here. I'm all about it, man. I try not to collect the figures too much, dude, because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But they just had like the Jeff Hardy Undertaker combo pack. I had to get that. It's like one of my favorite matches, man. Like, what were your must-haves?
My must-haves was I always wanted a Shield, and I ended up getting the Shield 3-pack 2 years ago for Christmas. And the Shield was just awesome. I mean, I hate that they broke them up like in 3 different ways. First, it was Seth, and then they reconnected. And then Dean ended up turning on them. It was just, once they break up, it's hard to form them again. And just having the Shield, I liked how they had like the vest on and stuff, and they looked like they're SWAT. And I always had them come to my ring when I was playing with them as they were about to arrest you. So like, I was the type of kid that when a match is over and I don't like the outcome, somehow, because I'm the manager and I own the company, I'll like switch it around like, oh, more time is on the clock now. Oh, he gets a restart. And I always had to shield him out and just reinforce every rule that there was in my professional wrestling action figure company.
The enforcers. I like it, man. Good for
Yeah.
you, man. I like the imagination. And obviously you made this jump to, interviewing the wrestlers, kind of going from one world to the other. Like, for me, I'm getting my feet wet on the commentary right now. I got to host a virtual meet and greet with Ted DiBiase the other day, man. So the doors are opening, and it all started with this podcast for me, making great relationships, great connections with some amazing indie talent, some national talent. And that's not a name drop. That's me just saying, man, like, keep at it, bro. It's really cool. I wish I had started when I was younger. What's the goal right now? Is it commentary? Is it just the interview? Is it all of the above?
I love commentary, but it's not really my thing. I mean, it's cool to do, but there's so much that goes into it. You got to know everyone's name. You have to know their moves. And even in other sports, you have to know their stats. And it's just like, there's no way in my head, I'm not going to remember all that, especially during a live stream or a live game. My goal actually after high school, and I want to go to college for sportscasting. I want to be a sports interview. So that's why I'm doing these interviews. And sportscasting, you have to be able to be flexible. And so you're not professional wrestling can get live coverage, but it's not like baseball on every day or football or hockey. So in order to be a sportscaster, you have to be flexible. And actually, one of my schools that I go to, they're helping me get all these other people that do different sports. Like they do like these Spartan races where you have to climb up a mountain for 3 days and do different challenges. I interviewed a football player who was in the NFL and now he's in the Canadian Football League today.
Wow. Good for you, man.
Just so many different sports and awesome things to learn. I love doing the interviews and I want to continue it. I want to be able to get paid doing these. So it's my goal.
Well, keep working hard, man. That's interesting to hear. Like you're going to college for the, the sports stuff, the sports casting. That's really cool, man. Again, I wish I had done that. I know I keep saying that over and over again, man. I wish I had done that because this is like something I never knew that I wanted, I guess, when I was younger. And it's really cool, man. And I want to see you succeed. So I have to call you out on this, man. I do. Is that a Patriots flag I see in the back there?
It sure is.
Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it. I'm teasing you, bro. I'm a Giants guy over here, man.
Oh, of course you are.
I know. Hey, man, I'm in Jersey.
One of two teams that have only beaten the Patriots during their dynasty in the Super Bowl.
I'm aware. What do you think about Brady going to the Bucs, man? Are you heartbroken, or you want to see him succeed, or what?
At first it's heartbroken, but not everyone always stays in the same team.
Yeah.
I mean, especially he did a lot for us, and I hate hearing the thing about, was it Belichick who needed Brady or was it Brady who needed Belichick? And right now it's Belichick needs Brady, not the other way around.
Statistically, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. I was heartbroken at first, but then I got over it. And then I thought, oh, we just signed Cam Newton. And that was just a bust. He's not that 2015 Newton of 15-1. It is what it is. I hope that we can get Jared Skidham. I call him Skidmart because that's kind of like his name. I like to be sarcastic. I hope that he can get going sometime in the future for the Patriots, but right now, it's not it. We need to do something in the draft. But I hope Brady succeeds. He's got a tough opponent. He didn't not beat the Saints at all this season. They got blown out by them both games. I hope that they can pull it around and win Sunday, but we'll see.
I get it, bro. And I mean, I don't even know if you know these names, man, but I remember being a Nets fan, obviously. And again, now they got Harden today. Big news there. I don't know how I feel about that, but I digress. Big Jason Kidd guy, Vince Carter. Those are my favorites. And when Jason Kidd got traded from New Jersey, I was heartbroken because I would love going to the games and seeing them and the crazy alley-oop and highlight plays. And sure enough, he went to the Mavericks and won a title. And I was very happy to see him succeed with the Mavs, because that was one of my favorite favorite players on the court for sure, man. But you talk about sportscasting and sportscasters. I love guys like Iron Eagle. In the wrestling world, I love Mauro Ranallo. I know a lot of people are kind of like yes or no on him. I think he's fantastic.
Mamma mia.
Yeah, right, man. Like who are your influences as far as like the commentating?
Commentating, I mean, I love Michael Cole. He's just so
Really.
I know, like, now he's not the same, like, what it used to be, and, like, the Attitude Era, and then we kind of went to that PG era, and we're still in it now. But he knows everything, and it's just, he's such a funny guy to listen to, so.
Really? That's great. You know, you never hear, you don't hear Cole as much because, like, I mean, he is the guy. He's very, like, you know, almost like the straight man all the time. But you're right. He does know all the information. He keeps the show going. I know Nunez hates it when he goes, "It's boss time." So that's for you, Nunez. But Cole's your guy. That's super interesting, man.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone in, like, in the sports world, like in the 4 major sports leagues, like that stands out to you?
The following message is brought to you by The Division. Join the movement.
The time is almost upon us. Nearly a year of struggling. A year of sacrifice. All for this one soon-to-be moment. We've been patient. We've played your games. But now we implement change. We told you all what to do. What happens next? That's on you.
I really don't have anyone.
Okay.
I mean, I love baseball. It's my second favorite sport. It goes wrestling.
Oh, don't tell me you're a Red Sox guy. Don't tell me you're a Red Sox. It's happening.
I'm from Massachusetts.
You have to be.
Home.
I'm teasing you, man.
I mean, I don't like the Celtics. I mean, I like the Celtics, but I'm a Lakers guy. I'm not a LeBron bandwagon, but like I like the Lakers. They're cool. The fact that they won the NBA Finals for Kobe, it's just awesome. But I mean, I want to be like on Fox Sports, like the analyst, like David Ortiz. I mean, he's my favorite baseball player when he was with the Red Sox, and then he retired. But even when he's on the Fox News, not Fox News, wrong subject, Fox Sports Network, like MLB, he's just so funny. And even when SmackDown got moved to Fox last October, he came in the studio with like a wrestling mask on and the WWE replica behind you. And he's just such a fun guy. I mean, I love hearing him talk about everyone and how he thinks he's the best most of the time.
That's a great choice, man. And again, you know, I'm giving you a hard time. Obviously, you figured I'm a Yankees guy over here, but the rivalry is great. So I always like to tease you guys, man. And I've been to Boston, great town. You know, I did get to go see the Green Monster. Help me, the field. I can't think of the name of the field. The
Fenway Park.
Fenway, duh. I knew it was
it's the oldest.
Yes, I couldn't get there, man. But yeah, I mean, as soon as we got to Boston, I was like, we got to go to Fenway, man. Got to get a hot dog, see the Green Monster, that whole thing, man. So very cool. And you know, I love like Johnny Damon, and then the Yankees got him, man. So it's just like a really cool rivalry. But I digress, man. I did want to ask you this, man. So you know, obviously a big fan of wrestling, big fan of sportscasting. You know, big fan of collecting the figures and all that kind of stuff. So what takes you to the indies? Like, how do you go from there to the indies?
So one of our close friends that helps, my oldest brother, he's severely autistic. And one of his PCAs works at a mall, and Pioneer Valley Pro Wrestling used to perform at the mall that he worked at. And he ended up telling me, oh, there's some kind of indie wrestling thing. It's not like WWE. And I'm like, yeah, I know, because WWE would not perform at a mall. Like, this is not where they are right now. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, sounds cool, so I'll go. And this was when the Kingdom was on the independent circuit still. And because they're all from Boston, Vinny Marseglia, I know I messed his last name up, TK Orion, they were a part of this promotion, Pioneer Valley. And I was like, all right, I'll go check it out. It seemed cool. And I'm like, everyone's really awesome on this roster. Like, I want to find out more. So then I ended up keeping my ticket for the show, and I followed them on every. So I turned into a fanboy for them, and I just would see all these updates of like, oh, here's the next show. Oh, these are the next people coming in, and then I would recognize them from either they went to WWE for a tryout or they were on NXT for a little bit. Oh, and now they're here. Oh, here's another company, Evolve. Oh, here's in Rhode Island, there's XWA, who is another great. I've never been to a show, but they have a great roster and talent, and just independence is awesome. I mean, right now, it sucks to see that WWE and AEW are kind of like the higher, but independence, it's where you start. It's the minor leagues for professional wrestling, and just seeing how much they will go and put their bodies on the line for more extreme situations than WWE wants them to. It's awesome, and how could you not applaud them for that? So, personally, I love independence way more than major. I stopped watching WWE. It's not what it is anymore. It sucks. Their scripting sucks. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with me on that one, but yeah, independence is awesome, and I will always be an independent wrestling fan.
That's a great point, man, and I'm glad that you appreciate it. I'd love to see, and there's a great appreciation for it. Don't get me wrong, but like even from kids your age, usually you got the Monday Night Raw, the Friday Night SmackDown, so it's good to see like the kids getting more interested in the indies. Obviously, 2020 made it very difficult. Hopefully, we do get to some sense of normalcy very, very soon. But the indies are super cool. I think a lot because of the guys and gals have a chip on their shoulder. They have something to prove. They want to get to that next level. I used to say that about NXT all the time. They, we would always talk about that call up. Now we try not to use that term as much, even though they still kind of do it. Obviously Rhea rumored to be called up, Damian Priest as well. But these guys and girls had a chip on their shoulder, and that's what I love. I love to see them evolve. I love them to see them get their like theme music made, their new gear, try new stuff. It's really interesting, man. So interviewing them and connecting with them and being able to call some of their matches has been really cool for me. One of the highlights of my year for sure. Who has been? I mean, you don't have to play favorites here, but like who's been one of your favorite interviews so far?
Even though he's signed by Impact Wrestling, and I don't know if his contract's I know his contract is supposed to be up soon. Even though he's signed by Impact, but he still does independence. Ethan Page, my favorite interview of all time. I was very surprised to get him on my show. I mean, I didn't get him without Josh Alexander first. So he kind of set me up for that one.
Very nice.
And it was just awesome, and I was so surprised when I opened my phone and I saw that, Ethan Page mentioned you in a comment on a post that I was tagged in on Twitter. And I'm like, he says he wants to be on my show. Let's set it up. And I'm like, so I was emailing him the next day, and I'm like, one of my dreams is about to come true. I mean, I had a whole list of people. The list is completely gone now. Filled out the whole thing. And I'm like, he's been on my list since last year when I first started this, and I'm finally gonna interview him. But he's just my favorite. He was such a nice guy and really funny. He likes that I broke the rules a little bit because I like to be respectful, just like you, of time constraints on everyone. And my goal is to get 30 to 45 minutes. Now it's switched to 20 minutes. And like, as long as I get over 20 minutes, and he goes, I only have 30 minutes. And somehow 20 minutes into it, the thing just stopped recording. So I had to call him back and restart it. And I got another 20 minutes in. So we ended up going like 45 minutes total. And he was like, I like this kid. He's a rule breaker. So that was just awesome.
That's awesome. I'm proud of you, man. Really well done. And more so, I'm proud of you because of the name drop. I love it. We're all about the name drops here. I'm proud of you at 16 years old, man. Good for you. And I got to say this, man. It's really cool to say. I know I keep saying this over and over again, but you said, you email these guys. I know how I reach out. I have a certain way of doing it. I do kind of incorporate, we've interviewed so just to show like a level of professionalism, not necessarily to name drop, but you want to show that you have a resume. You want to show that you have mutual friends. You want to not put yourself over, but put yourself in a very professional position where people know that you're not, whatever. So you're killing it right now, man. Now, when you reach out, do you say like, hey, I'm 16, or do like you ever get like I don't know about that kid. Like, what are the reactions that you get?
So I'm not going to go word from word about what I reach out with, but it starts off as, hey, my name's so-and-so, Donovan. I'm 16. I'm from Massachusetts. And it normally goes from that to, I'm reaching out. Would you be interested to do a interview for my show, YouTube channel, podcast? Like, I'll switch it up sometimes. And most of the responses are, yeah, thank you for reaching out, and I would love to be on your show. I appreciate it. I'm unfortunately not taking interviews at this time. Or if they're really excited, sometimes they'll get a response of, I thought you would never ask. I've seen you at the
Aw.
shows before. And
Love that.
yeah, and I'm like, well, now is your chance. So don't blow it. But no,
Good
I
for
don't
you.
say that. But yeah, those are the responses I get. Either, hey, sorry, I'm not taking interviews, or thought you never ask, or absolutely, I'll be down. So
Good for you, man. That's so good to hear, man. And you're absolutely killing it. Like I said, you mentioned this list that you had, right?
yeah.
You said, you ran it down. You got everyone. You got some big names on there, man. And I'll tell you this right now, a little bit of free advice, man. I'm sure you get your fair share of no's. I mean, we all do, but you never know who's going to say yes, man.
Yep.
I'll save you the name drops, man. But there's been some people at like conventions or cons at some of the biggest names in the business, man. And Mr. So and so, Rob from yada yada. Would you have 2 minutes for an interview? And you never know who's gonna say like, oh, how long, or like, yeah, I could do 2 minutes. And it's just like, thank you so much. So, man, so keep hustling, keep trying, man. That's really, really cool to see. And going back to my original question, we talk about that list, man. Did you start a new list? Like, who are the targets right now? Or do you prefer like not to put it out into the universe, or just a little bit of a teaser here?
I do not have a new list. I should really make a new one. It's just like, it's hard because now there's not that many shows going on because of COVID. And if COVID wasn't a thing and shows were happening, I would absolutely already made another list back in October probably. But due to COVID, it's like I'm not seeing that many people that I never heard of. I mean, Limitless Wrestling, they provide the road each week. I'll reach out sometimes to people that were wrestling that night. And I rarely get a response now, but I currently do not have a new list, no. But I did reach out to, who was someone that I reached out to recently? I don't know. Oh, Brother Greatness. He's from New York, and I saw him at a wrestling show back in October called Test of Strength, which is a company out of Hartford, or not Hartford, Connecticut. I'm all over the place right now. But but I reached out to him, and hopefully soon we'll find a date to connect. So yeah, no new list, but people are coming, hopefully.
Good for you, man. And I'm so happy to see you aim high and all that. And last one from me, but man, what's the response? Obviously you get a good response from the wrestlers, man. I'm so glad to hear it's going very well. But what's the response from like the family, man? Is there a lot of support there? Do they like seeing you aim high?
Oh, they hate this thing. They want me to quit. They don't support. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. I was like, oh.
My mom was actually, when I did in-person interviews, she's known as the camera lady. And
shout out to mom.
Yep. Camera lady, mom, I love you. Hope you watch this. But I get so much support from everyone. My aunts, uncles will be like, hey, I watched your interview. My Nana watches every interview right after it comes out. And I'll get like a message from her either, hey, I really like this guy. He was really funny. Oh, I didn't like that guy. He flipped you off in the middle of the interview. And I'm like, it's just his character. It's not real. He apologized after. And so I pretty much get all my feedback from my Nana. But my mom and dad will be like, hey, do you have any guests tonight? Or I'm like, no, not until this day next week, or not till tomorrow. And they like that I found something to do, because we'd have to be in quarantine. I think everyone was depressed, because there really wasn't much to do. I mean, eating was there, but
no wrong.
I wanted something to do, and I met this guy named Don Kincaid, who does interviews as well, who was around my area too. and he showed me how to use Skype. And from then on, it's just been a trio thing. It's been him, my mom, and me of just hearing feedback or, hey, this is how you work Skype. This is how you record. Oh, here's a list of talent that I'm interviewing. Maybe if you want to reach out to them as well. Which also shout out to Don Kincaid. The Kincaid Files on YouTube. You can find him. He's got so many great interviews. He even posts his matches from the shows that he goes to. So, but yeah, I have plenty of support.
I can tell, man. It's awesome. Again, I'm friends with a lot of these indie talents, and said, "Oh, I'm having Donovan on tonight, and it's gonna be great." And I'm, all right, great kid, great interview, nothing but good things to say, man. And I love seeing you aim high, man. And anything that us BCP boys could do for you, let us know, man. We want to help each other out. We're all about that, man. And just continue to grow and learn and reach out. And learn as you go, man. So before we get out of here, man, I'm all about the shameless promo here on the BCP. So tell everyone where they can subscribe to your channel, follow you on social media, all that good stuff.
Well, I'm unfortunately retiring. I'm not doing this anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not buying that one. Undertaker over here.
You can find my YouTube channel on YouTube, BootyOs Boy Wrestling Fan. It's just that. It's all space, so it's nothing together. You can follow my Instagram, Donovan_T_Dwyer413. Facebook, Donovan Dwyer. You can shoot me a friend request. If I know you, I'll probably respond to it. If I don't expect too much.
Yes.
Snapchat and Twitter. Snapchat's private, and then Twitter is Donovan Dwyer 3. That's where I also share all my interviews, and I'll tag that person that I interviewed, and you can find their page as well. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Subscribe, for the great interviews, and be respectful of this guy. He's doing a great job, man. So, Jonathan, thank you so much, man, for coming on for a few minutes, dude. Stay safe. I'm hoping, for some more Yankees wins and Red Sox wins, but we'll have a healthy rivalry, man. I hope you get to Jersey one day when the world's back to normal. We got a lot of great wrestling here, man. And I hope to meet you in person. We'll give you some BCP swag and just continued success, man.
Sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me on your show.
Anytime, man. And like I keep saying, continued success. I love seeing the hustle, man. You're killing it, man. And we'll be watching for sure. All right, guys. And like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We're out.
Peace. It's boss time.
Yeah. That's for you, Nunes. I love it.